Hello my loves, what is up and welcome back to my channel. I have missed you guys so much. It feels like forever since I've sat down in my own home and just chatted with you guys. I'm officially back on home soil. We're back from our US trip. We got back a week ago now. So I've been slowly getting back into the groove of things, getting my sleep routine back in check, sorting through all the laundry, just the usual post travel stuff. And now I'm finally sitting down and looking at my finances. So I thought I would check in with you guys because I was away for like a good 3 weeks. I didn't end up doing a monthly reset, and I've had so many comments and messages from you guys asking if I can still do one, which thank you. Such an honor. Like sometimes I do these videos, I put them out there and I'm like, does anyone even care? Like if I miss an upload, like is anyone gonna notice? And you guys noticed, you did. I know this is a little bit late. I'm sure most of you have probably done your monthly budget, or maybe you haven't. Maybe this is your sign to do it, or maybe this is just a good opportunity to check in and see how you're progressing. This is gonna be a very like chatty, sit down, casual video. I'm not gonna be doing any goal setting. We'll reflect on April and see how we went with that, which literally feels like forever ago, because I think reflecting is like a really important part of goal setting and budgeting in general, just to see what went well, what didn't go so well, and just see where you're kind of at with everything. So yeah, very casual, very just sitting in my living room. Feels really good to be home, I'm not gonna lie. As much as I love traveling and we had the literal best trip, there's really no place like home. I love my boring little mundane life. So it's good to be home, good to be getting back into it, and we're gonna look at our budget and set a new budget for May, even though we are halfway through. I've been still tracking all of my expenses. I just haven't actually set any intentions for the month, so no time like the present. I've got my laptop here, I've got my budget pulled up. I always have my budget that I use linked down below. It's the Co-Planter Yearly 2.0 spreadsheet, and I have a discount code if you guys want to check it out. Yeah, I think before we get into that, let's have a quick look at the goals we set for April, which I don't even remember, I'll be honest. It was ambitious of me to even set any goals. Starting off with my personal goals, I wanted to soak up all the travel this month, which we definitely did do. I felt like I was very present. I wanted to start scrapbooking. I didn't do that. I cleared out my camera roll. I don't think I worked out. No, I didn't work outside the house once a week, so we can't check that off. We did celebrate our 2-year wedding anniversary. I cannot believe it's been 2 years since we got married. Like, where has the time gone? I know a lot of you guys have been here since that time of my life, and I really cannot believe it was 2 years ago. Did not read 2 books, so not great on the personal goal front. Health and wellness, did do our daily walks. I did try a new class. Yeah, I tried Reformer Pilates for the first time last month. So very proud of myself. It was actually really good. I really enjoyed it. It was really hard. Like Pilates in general is just, it's hitting muscles and just like parts of my body I didn't even know I had. So it's definitely very challenging, very humbling, but in a good way. Like it feels good. So I definitely want to continue with that going forward. I really enjoyed it. And there's something about the machines, like they're fun to me. And I did get 10,000 steps in a day. I did invest this month and I did pay extra towards our car loan, which is awesome. And then for business goals, I wanted to stick to my upload schedule. I'd say I did this for the most part, and I did post 3 times a week on Instagram and TikTok. I also had some house goals this month. I wanted to tidy and clean before we left the US, which we managed to do. We came home, the house was like nice and clean, and I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it was good. It was like a good base to come home to. And then I also decluttered our wardrobe. I vlogged that last month. So yes, all in all, we accomplished 80% of our goals, which is actually pretty impressive considering I really did not look at this. Yeah, I'm not gonna set any goals for May. As I said, I just don't think it's necessary. We're already halfway through the month. I don't need to accomplish anything. I just need to enjoy the last couple of weeks of May, really reflect on what an amazing trip that we had, and just be present, avoid the post-holiday blues. Of course, I do need to set a budget, so we'll do that. Oh, let's actually, before we do, I'm getting like too ahead of myself. I forgot how to film these videos, guys. Okay, we'll first look at our April budget and see how we did, what went well, what didn't go so well. Now, April was my first full month working for myself, budgeting off what I made purely from social media. We had a really great month. I think when I originally set this budget, I wasn't not transparent because I wasn't trying to hide anything, but I think I put in my expected income from social media as what I would be taking home, like what I would be paying myself. And because it was my first month, I really wanted to be very conservative and put anything extra that I didn't need into my business savings account for future business expenses, future business income primarily. And that is purely for those months that are a little bit slower. I'm not bringing in as much. I still want to be able to pay myself, still be able to pay and cover my bills. So that's what I did this month. I think when I did my April reset though, the amount that was in my expected income was just what I would be paying myself. I've since updated that just because I want to be transparent. I got a couple comments saying like, we want to know the nitty-gritty numbers, like don't be afraid. And it's not me trying to hide anything. That's not really my vibe. I just didn't know how to show it and document it and budget it, but I think I've got it figured out. So here is our income for April. Nick's pays were pretty much what we expected. I think he made a little bit more because we had some leave that he took. And then my business income, I expected about 9,500 after taxes and deductions. Whatever is on my spreadsheet is always post-tax because I just like don't even want to think about that. I have like a whole separate spreadsheet breakdown for the business side of things. So this is purely post-tax income and it was $9,840.74. So pretty much what I expected. I don't know what this miscellaneous amount is. This might be interest maybe? Dividends? I don't know. So that's what we made. Huge month, really exciting month. Yeah, it just is a bit surreal. I never in my wildest dreams would have ever imagined that I would be making money, let alone this amount of money from social media. This has always been a hobby and now it's so much more than that. It's crazy. So exciting, very validating. My first month being fully self-employed, working for myself, and we're doing it. Like we're doing the damn thing. It's really exciting. So yes, very happy with that. I do get a lot of questions about how I make money from social media. I think there's like a very, I guess, preconceived idea that you have to be a big influencer in order to make money from social media, and that is definitely not the case. I mean, I'm an example of that. I'm just a little itty bitty shrimp in a huge ocean. And there's definitely a place for everyone online on social media, whether that's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, I don't know, Twitch. Like there's so many different forms of social media. One thing that I've really been working on in the last year is diversifying my income streams. And so that means like making short form content. That is such a big thing right now. Like a lot of brands are looking for creators to promote through short form content. And it was never like an intentional thing. I think it was more like, I want to try and make short form content. I've been doing long form for years, for as long as I can remember. Like, let's try something else and see how it goes. And yeah, it's been going really, really well. Touch wood. It's, yeah, definitely been. And I think it's also just nice to have like another creative space, another way that I can be. It's just very different, like long form, short form content, very different forms of content. And so it's been, yeah, really good to kind of like push myself out of my comfort zone. I was so resistant for the longest time. I was like, I'll never be on TikTok. I'll never make Instagram reels. And here we are. I just needed one little push and I did it. So yeah, just diversifying my income and just having multiple income streams has been really helpful. So sponsorships is a big way that I make money. I don't do like a ton of sponsorships because I do have multiple platforms that kind of spread out across different ones. So it's not like I'm constantly doing a sponsored YouTube video, constantly doing a sponsored Instagram reel. Like it's very evenly spread, which is nice. YouTube AdSense is also a source of income that's a little bit more consistent, I find, especially with how often I upload. I kind of know like if I upload once a week, I'm gonna make this amount. And then also any affiliate links as well. So you might see people post on their Instagram story and they have a link for something. A lot of the time those are commissionable links. So if you click on it and then you go buy that item, they'll get a little percentage of commission. It's similar with like discount codes. Not all of them are commissionable. Some of them are literally just discount codes. It really depends on what it is. But yeah, affiliate marketing is also a big thing as well. So all of those little sources of income kind of come in and create this. I've been trying to be very conservative with my approach. And so with that $9,840, I put $6,135 of that into my business account for future business income. So any months that are a little bit slower, which is inevitable, it's going to happen. There'll be some months where I'm not paid anything from sponsorships. So I need to supplement that with money from my business account. $6,135.99 went into my business savings. So that is that. Bills and subscriptions wise, everything was pretty much as expected. I did sign up for Woolies Everyday Extras. I actually went with them on my Instagram and I decided to continue that subscription since I thought it was so worth it. I mean, obviously if I'm working with them, I think it's worth it. I would never promote something that I don't think is. And so yeah, I will be continuing that, adding that to our subscriptions every month. We do shop mostly at Aldi, but there's always something that they don't have or that we prefer, the name brand or whatever it is. So that is a $7 subscription that we'll be adding to the agenda every month. And then for our variable expenses, groceries, we only spent $318. We only spent $165 on petrol, didn't spend anything on the house or health. Social, we were a little bit over, which is fine. Coffee, we spent $153.25 between us, which is, I mean, not too bad. This was for only 3 weeks worth of expenses because the last week we were away in the US. Anything that we spent whilst we were in America isn't on this spreadsheet because I took that from our savings. Like that was money that had already been saved, sitting in our account, and I tracked it separately on a travel budget spreadsheet because I'm crazy like that. But if you guys want to see a full breakdown of that, definitely let me know. Eating out, we were over, but we were under for our groceries. So it kind of evens out. Mabel, a little bit over. We had to stock up on dog food. She also had a vet appointment and it was also her birthday. Entertainment, didn't spend anything. Gifts, we were a little bit over. It was Nick's birthday and our 2-year wedding anniversary. Books, $13.99. Alcohol, we spent $63.89. Clothing, $931.22. Almost $1,000 on clothing, you guys. I don't know if anyone else gets like this, but before I go away on a trip, I suddenly have an identity crisis and I'm like, I have no clothes. Like I literally have no clothes. I need to go shopping immediately. Yeah, that was out of control. To be fair, and you guys see this month to month, we don't really spend a lot of money on clothing. Let's look at actually, I'm gonna live to regret saying that because I think last month we also did some shopping. Yeah, we spent $345 last month as well. And before that we spent nothing. And I think in January, probably similar. $98. So it's not like we're doing this every single month. I think that we just need to be better about budgeting and preparing for it. Maybe setting up like a sinking fund for when we do have those big splash out shopping trips. This was also for Nick and I. Actually, I think majority of this was for Nick, not to throw him under the bus, but he got a new suit jacket because we had a wedding and some engagement parties. Connor were also having a sale, so we got some jackets and like, why can I not think of the word? Like a pullover? Not a jacket, like a little corduroy shirt. That's definitely something we need to look into, setting up a sinking fund or something for those infrequent but expensive shopping trips. Beauty, we spent $90. Oh, that was my haircut. I got my hair cut. Which I didn't factor in. I wasn't expecting to get my hair cut. It was like a last minute kind of decision. I saw my hairdresser post that she had a free appointment and I was like, oh, I am going away. So this like going away thing, like why do we do this to ourselves? Why do we tell ourselves that what we have isn't good enough? Like, do I need to be an entirely different person before I go on a trip? Like, absolutely not necessary. And travel was $186.20. Some of that was like packing cubes, adapter, and then also we had to load some money on our travel money card, which came from this account. And then for debt this month, obviously paid our mortgage, which is great, despite all the shopping. And then our car loan, we put an extra $2,000 towards. We did invest $86.94, not a huge amount. I just put that in ETFs. I always get questions about how I invest, what I do to invest. I'm not a financial advisor. None of my videos are financial advice, so I don't really feel comfortable talking about that. I will say the platform that I use is CommSec Pocket. All in all, not a terrible month, definitely not the best month we've ever had. I usually like to keep our variable expenses around $2,500, $3,000, and we were up to $3,700, $857 over what I budgeted. There's a lot of red going on here, which, you know, it is what it is. Obviously I had a great month business wise and it's something that we can afford, but it's not preferable to spend that extra money. I'd really like to invest, save, or pay extra towards our debt rather than just going crazy and spending it all. Like I really want to try and curb that lifestyle creep. It's so easy to, I think, like just truthfully and honestly, when you see that amount of money come into your account, especially coming from someone that has always made like a very steady average paycheck, to now be in a position to be in the most fortunate position where I am fully self-employed. I can make more money. There's no cap on what I can make really. Like the world is my oyster and I'm in this really exciting season of growth and this season where I've taken that leap of faith and I have gone out on my own, and whatever I put into my social media and the sponsorships I do and that consistency and that effort does a lot of the time equal more money in my bank account. Like that's just the truth of the matter. Yeah, seeing that amount in my account, it's like very tempting to be like, oh, let's go crazy. Let's do this, let's do that. And you always hear about like influencers spending beyond their means, and I 100% get it. Like really just trying to curb that lifestyle creep and live well below my means. Anyway, enough about April. Let's look at May, shall we? So I have tracked all of my expenses so far this month. You can see here, like, really nothing much going on until we're back home. And then, yeah, this is kind of where we're at with everything. Starting off with our income, Nick has already received one paycheck on the 8th, so that was $2,855.89, more than what he normally gets paid, because here in Australia, I don't know if it's every job, but I'm pretty... Everywhere I've worked, I've always got paid leave loading. So I think it's like 17.5% extra when you take annual leave. I don't know why that's the case. I actually tried Googling it the other day. It's something about, there was some law made in the 70s that's just kind of stuck around, because the idea is when you take annual leave, you're incurring more expenses. I don't know where this came about, but I'm definitely not complaining. So he got paid more, 17% more. This paycheck will come through the 22nd, I imagine. I don't think it'll be quite as much, so we'll say 2,600. And then for my expected business income, $4,284 has already hit my account after taxes and deductions. I really don't see much more coming through this month, so I'm gonna say, we'll say an extra 1,100, so 5,384 is what we'll expect. Miscellaneous, I cashed out on some online surveys, so that was $300 after taxes. I don't think I'll be cashing out again this month, so we'll leave it at that. So that is our expected income, a total of $11,139.89. Bills wise, I've already paid all of our bills, not necessarily paid them, but I put the full amount into our bills account. I've talked about this before. I've done a whole payday routine if you guys want to watch that video, but all of our monthly and quarterly bills are direct debited from a separate bills account. Normally when we get paid, I would just transfer whatever we needed to into our bills account, and that's like an accumulating, almost like sinking fund, because we have some monthly bills, some quarterly. I was just feeling a little bit nervous about where our bills account was sitting at, and I wasn't sure like what had been paid, what hadn't been paid. So just to make things nice and simple, when I sat down and looked at our accounts halfway through this month, I just transferred the full amount that needs to be covered for this month so that I know they are paid for. So $981.11 for all of our bills. We have had a few changes to our bills. I don't know if I talked about this last month, but our car insurance went up, so that's $111.13. And our home insurance also went up, which was, I think, what was it before? Like $70 or something. Let's see, $99.49. Our car insurance was $77. I don't know why that's gone up such a significant amount. I think it's just the cost of living. Our home insurance actually went up at renewal to $165 from $99.49, but I switched insurers because I had a staff discount at my last job. It was an insurance company, so I got like a heavy discount. Obviously now I've left that job, that's come off our home insurance. So when I got the renewal, it was like $165, and I was like, oh, let's shop around. So I shopped around, and the best I got was $105.89 for like the same level of cover, just with a different provider. Subscriptions, I'm gonna copy and paste over from last month. Gorge, most of these have come out already. Disney is actually $17.99 now, because that's also gone up, obviously. And I think Netflix might be going up too, or Spotify. Something is going up. I swear it always happens at the same time as well. I've gotten like 3 different emails. First it's the insurance, then it's Disney Plus. I'm like, I actually can't keep up. Like, can we relax, please? Already paid this one, this bad boy, $2,083 has been set aside. Then we have our second mortgage, or second part of our mortgage. Our mortgage is a split loan because we built, and so originally we had a fixed loan on our land. That 2-year fixed interest rate has since ended, so now they're both variable, but it's still like split. $2,083 has already been transferred for our mortgage, and then we just have this one left to pay. We have transferred $3,300 towards our car loan already this month, which is awesome. We are well and truly under $10,000 left to pay, which is so exciting. We took out this car loan a year ago, or just over a year ago, and our original amount was just over $30,000. So really happy with our progress so far. We can definitely have this paid off in the next couple months, I think. I'll leave it like that for right now, but we may contribute extra once we've done the rest of our budget. Okay, let's have a look. Are you kidding me right now? I'm really hoping you guys can't hear that right now, but our neighbors decided now is the perfect time as I'm filming this video, because it's all about me. I am the main character. Now's a good time to start, I don't know, weed whacking, leaf blowing. I don't know what he's doing. He or she, I shouldn't assume, but I'm pretty sure it's just a man over there. One moment, please. We've had a location change, guys. Don't stress. We're back to our tried and true, our roots, filming in this setup. I don't know why I thought it would be a good idea to film in the lounge. Too good to be true. So as you can see, I've already input all of our expenses into our transaction tracker, so they're showing in the red right now because I haven't actually set a budget. So groceries, we've already spent $239.88. I'm gonna budget $500 for groceries. Petrol, we'll budget $150. Home, we'll go $50. I don't think there's a ton of stuff we need. Health, we've already spent $174.50, so I had to get some protein powder and I also had a couple of appointments, so more than we would normally spend, so we'll say $200 for health. Social, we'll go $150. Coffee, we've already spent $36.51. I'd like to keep this around $110. Eating out, $150. Date night, we'll go $50. Moo. How did you know it was your turn? How did you know? Oh, thank you. How much should we spend on you this month? How much? We do actually need to get her desexed. She's over a year old. Our vet recommended, just with like her breed and some studies they've done, to hold off for as long as we could with getting her desexed. There's some research that's been done with like cancerous tumors being connected to getting the dog desexed too early, at least with her specific breed. She's already gone through one cycle. She's probably due for a second in the next few months. I'd really like to get her desexed before then. Truthfully, it was like very traumatic for everyone involved. So I don't know if that's going to be this month. I don't know how much that's going to cost either. So we'll leave it at $50 for now, but this may change. Entertainment, we'll go $50. Gifts is at $143. It was Mother's Day, so we spent some money on that. I don't think I have any other birthdays this month. We'll leave it at $150. Books, $30. I really have not been reading much this last couple months. Alcohol, $50. Takeaway, $110. Rideshare, $50. Metro card, we'll put at $10. Mabel, stop it please. Clothing, we don't need anything really. We did enough shopping last month, so I'll just say $50 in case there's anything random that pops up. Oh, you know what we do need? Actually, Nick needs some new shoes, so we'll go $250. That's like an essential purchase. He is in desperate need of a new pair of sneakers. He has exceptionally wide feet, so he has about one or two styles that actually fit his feet comfortably, so he can't be too fussy, can't really shop around. Beauty, I don't really need anything, but I'll budget about $20 for that. Miscellaneous, I always budget about $50. And travel, we spent $20.65. That was for what? I think that was a top up on Mabel. You are so needy. What is wrong with your eyes? You got sand in your eyes, love. I'm trying to film a video. Pay the bills, love. You wouldn't know anything about that. Oh, we spent $16.09 on topping up the travel money card. We mostly used Wise while we were traveling. She doesn't want me to film this video. She just wants my full attention. Yeah, we mostly used Wise and that came directly from our travel savings. But then our bank also has a travel money card, which we use as like a backup. And so we had to put some money on that. And then Nick also accidentally tapped our debit card for the New York City subway. So that was $4.56 with the conversion and fees. So yeah, that was a bit of an oopsie, but that's fine. So yeah, I don't think we'll need anything, so I'll put this at $20.65 for that because we're done traveling. So that brings our total budgeted amount for our variable expenses to $2,200.65. We've already spent $848.11 so far this month. So if we continue on the same trajectory, we'll actually be over budget. It'll be like $2,500. So we need to slow things down. In an ideal world, I've talked about this before, would love to keep our variable expenses to $2,500 a month, like between $2,500 and $3,000. Doesn't always happen, as we have seen. Cool, so that leaves us with $661.52 left to budget. I like to work off of a zero-based budget just so I know where every single dollar is going or could go. As you've seen, I'm not super strict when it comes to our budget. It's more of a guide rather than like a rule book. At least for this season of our life, there was definitely a time and a place for sticking to our budget when we were trying to save for a house, trying to save for a wedding. And I'm sure there will come a time again in the future where we need to be really strict with our budget, but this is more of a guide for us. But I still like to work off a zero-based budget so I know where every single dollar is going and I can keep track of everything. So 66152. I'm just gonna put this towards the car loan because yeah, any extra money is just going towards paying that off right now, truthfully. Cool, so that is a $0 budget. I'm feeling pretty good about that. Let's have a look at kind of where we are at. So, bills, exactly what we expected so far. Subscriptions, similar. Expenses, we're under at the moment, halfway through the month. Debt, we are almost there with as well. And so far with our spending overview, we've put 74% of our money towards debt payoff, which is amazing. 11.7% towards our variable expenses, 0.8% on subscriptions, 13.5% on our bills. So looking pretty good so far. We'll see where we're at the end of May. Oh, I'm feeling so much better after that. I know exactly where we're at, what we need to do. This is why I love budgeting. As I said, I'm not super strict and inflexible when it comes to our budget because there are so many things that pop up throughout the month. I do my best to look at our calendar and work out what we might spend, working off what we've spent in the past. Like I've done this long enough now to have a general idea of what our spending and our expenses are and what we're comfortable being able to spend. I never want these videos to be like a point of comparison for anyone or for people to feel like this is the only way you can budget and track your money. Like there are so many different spreadsheets and programs and different ways to manage your finances, no matter what position you're in. You know, even when I was unemployed, like I lost my job, I was paying for a mortgage and we were paying rent at the same time because we were building our house, and it was like very scary set of circumstances. The one thing that brought me comfort was actually sitting down and running the numbers, not burying my head in the sand, and actually looking at our finances and tracking everything and just being on top of everything. Like there is so much in your life that is outside of your control, but the one thing you can control is tracking your expenses and your budget and how you spend your money, to a certain extent, obviously. So that's one thing that's always been a source of comfort, no matter what position I'm in, and especially when I'm in a bad one. Looking at my budget and running the numbers and working out the worst case scenario, that has always brought me so much comfort, because it's never as bad as you think it's gonna be. I think more bad than good comes from burying your head in the sand and being avoidant. There's a lot of anxiety that can come from that because it's like the unknown. So yeah, feeling good about this month. Excited to be home, back in Australian soil and making content again for you guys. I think the travel vlogs are so fun and I love bringing you guys along, but there really is no place like home, and I love the mundane, boring, everyday vlogs at home. Yeah, really good to be home. Excited to get back into it. Excited. In a couple short weeks, we'll be doing our June reset, which is crazy. I'm gonna end off this video here. I feel like this has been very, very chatty, so thank you guys so much for bearing with me and catching up. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic month so far, and I'll see you very, very soon for another video. Bye, guys.